There we go, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, you're joined live again here for the Tier 1 season final here at Daytona Road Course. You're joined with Honey Badger and Emo Guy. How are you tonight, mate?
Doing fantastic, how about yourself?
I'm fine, mate. Brilliant race we've just seen in the Tier 2. If you would like to catch that, please have a look over on our YouTube channel very shortly where that shall be uploaded.
Oh, Motor Morgan has already been given a one grid place penalty.
Very unfortunate. He is our championship leader at the moment as we do go into this final round. So we're very unfortunate. Obviously he must have been speeding in the pits there. So we're just looking now, Falgas, one of our staff members here, just going out on his out lap, trying to warm those tyres up as it is night time here, just trying to keep the temperature of the track down so the tyres don't get too hot and all drivers are able to battle. It looks like we are going to have some slipstream working from these drivers in qualifying, so we'll have to keep an eye on who is working with each other throughout this qualifying. Commentate what you want, mate. I'm just going to post some on the Facebook page.
Okay. Very much like we saw with the Tier 2 racing leaderboard, Motor Morgan has a significant lead over second place, which is Peanut. Can't pronounce his PSN name, so that's why I'm calling him that. Whereas Motoring Morgan has a 226 points in first place and Peanut has 191 points. So it seems like either way Motoring Morgan does have this championship warmed up, wrapped up for this season, folks.
So we're just watching now our season, our championship leader just coming around now. He might be on his first lap, second lap it looks like. His first lap of 2:04 puts him second at the moment, but as we say, he does have that grid place penalty. Fortunately goes back to the pit, so he might be just changing his setup with less than 9 minutes to go now in this qualifying session. So have you got your eyes on for this evening's qualifying session, Emo Guy?
Well, Well, we do currently have the only G in first place with a .2 split between himself and Motor Morgan. But either way, it doesn't. Well, more and more can if he doesn't even get ahead of OG, he's not going to start first. So the person I'm going to be looking for in qualifying is going to be the only G.
Yeah, we did see though in Tier 2 our pole sitter did do a 2:03.6, so at the moment these boys aren't on Pro Alpha's pace. Definitely something to keep in mind, that obviously the pace in between the two tiers is matching at the moment, and with the rule here at Motive Racing, the top 6 of Tier 2 will be moving up into this tier for next season, and it all comes down to this round for these boys. The bottom 6 will be moved down, unfortunately. We do try and keep it as competitive as possible, and obviously next season there's going to be some exciting racing, so please make sure to stay around. And if you would like to join in, our Season 2 entries are now open. If you go over to our Facebook page, there is a link there and you can sign up to our championships.
Am I correct in saying that only G is not on the leaderboards?
Is he not on pole at the moment?
Oh, he is, yeah, but I'm talking about the actual
Ah, the
standings.
championship.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now and I'm not seeing him.
Alright, okay.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think Honey Badger just says, if you do enjoy a competitive race within a set community, then please feel free to go and sign up for Season 2 that is open now and will be starting in the next few weeks. We do have many different championships open for you to join and race in.
Yeah, so just under 6 minutes to go this qualifying session. We currently have a G on pole at the moment. Motoring Morgan, our championship leader, on second, but obviously with that grid place penalty it will put him down to third as things stand. Top 3 all within a second at the moment, and looks very competitive at the front. These boys still putting laps in though, so we will keep an eye on that.
Remember, like Tier 2, qualifying does not really matter much on this track, as it is purely just mostly a straight goal. It's mostly about keeping behind your opponent and getting that slipstream to get ahead of them.
Yeah, so
now we
going
have
into
Champ coming up. Champ coming up with a 2:02.
phenomenal
Taking
lap
pole
there from
position.
Champ. Last week he did show his pace at Sonoma, battling it out with the top boys at the front, and as you see there, it looks like he might have just done a one lap wonder. 1.3 seconds in front of anyone. It looks like G just slipped off the oval there and returns back to pits with 4 minutes to go. At the moment the championship standings go as follows: Motoring Morgan at the top, AL just behind, Smithy in third, Olimar in fourth, Grandad Steve in fifth, RDJ in sixth, Ugber in seventh, Falgas in eighth, H2 Malik in ninth, John Boy in 10th, Champ in 11th, Rags in 12th, DJ Phil in 13th, Girinio in 14th, JR in 15th, Gene in 16th. So obviously these can all change throughout, because at the end of the season we do have a drop round where this can be changed drastically.
And of course, depending on what does happen during this race, if there is any incidents, there may be points taken off of anybody.
We've just seen a comment there from JR, or GT3 league leader, asking if Andy is racing. Yes, we do have Andy currently in 5th position in qualifying. He hasn't had much experience in these cars, but well, that shows how much experience he has got in these cars. But yeah, we do have him racing again tonight. We did see him in the Clios a few nights ago, and he did manage to race with JR. He did finish on the podium in 3rd position, just behind JR. So hopefully he can do that again this evening and get up there with at the front with these boys. As we say, it isn't that much about qualifying tonight, and that will show in our feature race with the top 5 of the sprint race starting at the back, unable to qualify for that feature race. Slipstreaming is a big factor here at Daytona, and it's not all about qualifying on pole, although it is about the fastest lap in the race, and sorry, the fastest lap in qualifying. There we go, JR just says, the Watford waffle gonna shine. How do you think he's gonna do this evening, Andy? Emo guy.
I feel like he does have potential. He's a 1.9 behind pole position. As long as he doesn't overpush the car, just keeps it consistent, doesn't put himself under too much pressure, I feel like he could come out with a good place in this.
Yeah, definitely. He's always a strong contender, very consistent. I've just seen another comment there from Kurt Hodgson. Let's go, commentators. Good to have you in the stream again, Kurt. Are you signed up for season 2, mate? Let us know what you signed up for. Obviously, very safe driver and consistent. They are just saying this is going to be a brilliant race if they give each other space. Yeah, I have said to the drivers on the start line, obviously with this being a rolling start, just to give each other space into turn 1, a very, very tight first turn for the drivers. So it's going to be all guns blazing off the start line, and onto lap 1, this being a sprint race, it's only going to be 20 minutes for our drivers. And then we have the feature afterwards. So who do you think is going to take the win in the feature race after this Emo guy?
Well, at this point it could be anybody's game from 4th, probably up about 6th and up. It could be anybody's race because they're all very, very close.
Yeah, definitely. Like we say, the slipstreaming is going to be a big factor. Obviously, we did see in Tier 2, if you didn't manage to catch it, a couple of cars spinning out with cold tyres at the start of the race. So if our drivers of Tier 1 were watching, they'll know just to go steady in the first couple of laps, let those tyres to heat up, and then they can start pushing the cars later on in the race.
Well, like I said during the last race, it's all about getting that perfect balance of your setup, plus your fuel, plus your power input around the corners.
Yeah, definitely. I've just had a comment there from Kurt saying he's going to race everything except for the Clio, so definitely going to be brilliant to see him out racing in 4 championships. That'll be next season, so good luck to him. We're reaching the final lap now of qualifying here at Motive Racing. We are here for the season final. If you've only just joined us, it is going to be a brilliant night of racing. The championship is undecided at the moment as we go into the final round. We're just joined on board with our championship, well, our league leader, Andrew. His first night in the GT5s, so he's going to want to prove the boys who is the best. He just comes round on his last lap now. At the moment, Champ is on provisional pole. We'll have to keep an eye on if that does get changed now, as our last couple of drivers do finish their laps. Looks like Andy's going to be the next to come across the line. He will want to improve on that 7th position he's in at the moment. Will he do so? Just coming up to that final little corner now. Across the line he'll go shortly. Will he improve? Unfortunately no, he's going to start in 7th.
Still a very good place to start, especially on this track.
There you go, Emo guy, feel free to read out the results from our qualifying for the sprint race here at Motor Racing in Tier 1.
On pole we have Champ. In second we have the only G. Third, Motor and Morgan, of course, with a one grid place penalty. Olimar in fourth, RDJ in fifth, Smithy in sixth, Andy in seventh, eighth is Archhill, Falguest in ninth, STDRS in tenth. It's going to be Untitled in 11th and Akbar in 12th and Grandad Steve in 13th.
Yeah, just further down we've got John Boy, then DJ Phil, H2 Malik bringing up the rear. So we have got a full grid this evening for our races, ladies and gentlemen. Please stick around, we are about to get underway for our sprint race for our final round here at Daytona Road Course for our Tier 1 drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, please leave a comment who you think is going to win the sprint race. Obviously the top 5 will be unable to qualify for the feature race after this, but it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Our championship is not finished yet. Motor Morgan leading the championship on 226 points, just behind ALTEL 191. Very close behind him is Smithy on an 182. We have to bear in mind though there is a drop round, and the boys will be pushing as hard as they can now.
Just saw a comment from Andrew Clegg, no chance getting near Champ, the kid's too fast. Well, he is a very fast driver, but you know, it is anybody's race at this point. They're all very close together, and they're all really good drivers. It's all about how you can handle this track, how you handle the corners.
Yeah, definitely. From what I've heard about that Andrew Clegg, he isn't the fastest of drivers. I'll give credit where credit's due. He's safe, but he's not the fastest, so yeah, good luck to all our drivers. So our drivers just setting up their cars at the moment, putting in what fuel's needed for the 20 minutes that is about to start. So who do you think is going to win then, Emo guy? Is it going to be Champ with that pace we've seen in qualifying, or are people going to be able to slipstream him throughout the 20 minutes?
I think that only G, he was very, very close to him. As long as he can keep that consistent pace with Champ, keep up behind him, he will.
There we go,
have
ladies
a chance
and gentlemen. We are rolling, and we just see G pulling away a little bit away from Champ. And off we go, ladies and gentlemen, for our final evening of racing in Season 1 for our GT5 drivers. This is the sprint race. Please feel free to like and comment as they head into Turn 1. Champ on the inside keeps it very clean. Our drivers behind all battling for position, on the brakes hard as we come out of Turn 1 now. It looks like we're 3 wide in the background. Heading down to Turn 2 now, that long U-turn. Looks like Ollie's had a brilliant start, moved up to position 2. G's going down positions as it looks. Further down it does look like there's a couple of contacts being made, but it looks like Champ's away clearly. Unfortunately, Motor Morgan, our championship leader, has had an incident in that turn 3, that was. Very unfortunate start, but as we do see, we have 19 minutes left of this race, so he does have time to catch back up, as we saw in Tier 2 Pro Alpha doing a few times. But yeah, as we say, Champ has got a brilliant start and is away. Doesn't look like anyone will be able to slipstream him now.
No, definitely not. But as long as they can use each other to try and help themselves get up there and catch up to them, they should be okay. But Champ here is putting out a very good pace right now.
Yeah, definitely looks like it's going to be the battle for second position at the moment. Ollie, our second place driver, battling with G, who both have had battles throughout the season. Ollie has got that new Fanatec wheel. This is the first race using that wheel he's got, so we'll have to try and keep an eye on him, whether that is adding more pace to him or not. G just overtakes there into the chicane. Looks like we've got a car off through the chicane. So I don't know who that was, but obviously we will be very curious as to what that was. It was Malik. Very unfortunate there, as he joins back on just in front of Ugba. So it looks like a few of our drivers have had incidents off the start. Just seen a comment there from JR. JR is very right about what he's just said. Ollie and G need to help each other slipstream. Oh, and a big crash on the start, finish straight. Oh no, a touch of wheels we see there. Very unfortunate for our drivers. Obviously, driving in close proximity will sometimes cause an incident, as we see our drivers coming back on track safely. And very unfortunate for Grandad Steve and the other drivers to be involved in that. But they do have 17 minutes to get back up to the front. We're joined on board now with Ollie. He's dropped down a couple of positions there. He's down to 4th. Looks like the boys have pulled back into Champ. So Champ's lost about a second there. But yeah, I was saying we can't let Champ get away just yet. Champ and Jeep look to have pulled about a second gap on the drivers behind. There we go, we look at the helicopter cam, the top 4 there in your picture. Smithy is a championship contender, with Morgan dropping down a few positions. Morgan's down in 8th at the moment, so at the moment, as it stands, Morgan did have to beat Smithy and AL Tal to wrap up the season before the feature, and it doesn't look like at the moment, with 16.5 minutes to go, he will be able to do that, as it looks like he's working with John Boy to try and catch these boys up ahead. Very unfortunate start there for Morgan in corner 3.
Here we see Morgan will go for the overtake and see if he can try and catch him on the chicane. Oh, looks like there was that.
Hey, I'll tell that might have been. It was a Girino. Very unfortunate spin there. Obviously, tyres haven't warmed up yet.
I think he may have just clipped the yellow turn corner. That is a very deadly thing to do in that corner, as it says, even if you clip it a little bit, you will spin out. Oh, it looks like only G has overtaken Champ.
Yeah, it looks like a 3-car battle at the front now. Smithy and Champ all over the back of G, so these 3 boys now are away 6 seconds in front of Andy, our 4th place driver at the moment. Could you put the times up please for me, so we can just keep an eye on these 3 boys whilst we're watching the cameras on everyone else. There we go, we can see there how far behind Andy is. Nearly 7 seconds. It looks like he's having a battle with Rob as well. And on lap 3 now, they will enter the oval in a long sweeping left-hander.
As long as only G can fend off Champ in this corner, he should be able to retain that pole position.
Yeah, at the moment it does also look like Smithy has a penalty, as he's dropped back 2.5 seconds, so I don't know what's happened with him. He might have spun out on the entry of the oval, I don't know, but he has a 4-second penalty. Very unfortunate for Smithy there. Wow. I don't quite know what's happened, but it looks like he'll be dropping a couple of positions across the finish line. Obviously the race director isn't feeling very kind this evening to these drivers.
When you start hearing people like...
There we go, we can see a few battered cars coming through the chicane there. Very unfortunate, as I said earlier. Just a touch of wheels as we were about 3 wide, I think, coming towards the finish line. These cars being very light, a small touch will send them flying. Obviously cars behind have nowhere to go, so a racing incident as it looked, but it will be looked into after the race and might change the championship standings. At the front, all 3 drivers have a penalty now, so I don't know what's happened there. G currently leading the race. A 3-second penalty for G, so Champ, I don't know if Champ will know this, but he will be thinking about this if he does. He's only got to be within 2 seconds of G to get that win this evening. Obviously everyone's fighting for positions this evening, whether at the front or the back. No one wants to get relegated with the rule we have here at Motive Racing. The season final this is. The bottom 6 will get demoted down to Tier 2 unfortunately, but we are bringing up 6 fast drivers to mix these boys up for next season. Yeah, I've just read this comment from JR. Champ will want this after Sonoma. That's very true, JR. He did have a very unfortunate race, losing 10 championship points due to an overtake which didn't work, and unfortunately he did push another car wide, so he'll be wanting to redeem himself at the moment, currently in second position, only 2 seconds behind the only G. Looks like we do though have a battle going on for 4th position between Andy and RDJ. There we go, we see Andy coming onto the oval now, just behind. We can hear Rob. Rob will be looking to use that slipstream now on the oval. And we have 11 minutes left of this race, ladies and gentlemen. We're on board with Girino as he comes across the line to start lap 5. Currently down in 12th position, very unfortunate for him. I just noticed as well, Grandad Stu very unfortunately down in last. He's usually up at the front fighting for podium positions. I think he was involved in that accident that happened on the start finish straight. He won't be too happy to be down there. And you're back on board with your leader. As you saw there, the gap between him and second position, Champ is coming down in between that 2-second gap he needs now. We're halfway through this race, ladies and gentlemen. Smithy is in contention for this championship, currently in 3rd position, but he does have that 4-second penalty, and that will knock him down a couple of positions. He's got up to 5 seconds now.
5.
So I reckon this is because of the chicane. Obviously drivers are wanting to go through the chicane as fast as they can, and cutting that slightly. You won't want to slow down coming after this. It is flat out for half a lap, and you will be caught up slowing down. So if he does get any more penalties though, I reckon that will be a drive through for him. So you don't want to be seeing that for our championship contender.
Definitely not, especially on this track where it is very fast paced on these corners right here. But it's just so very easily to mess up on any of these corners, especially that first one where it very much does mess with you a lot about it. Feel like you're just going straight, then all of a sudden it goes bending and straight round.
Yeah, it's a very tough little track, this one. Obviously having the road course, you need short gears with acceleration, but also you don't want to run out of top speed around the oval. So the boys have been doing a lot of practice today and throughout the week to try and sort car setups for this final. Obviously, as I say, the championship hasn't been sorted yet. It will all come down to this final round. As we see, Morgan now is in 6th position but doesn't have any penalties. Altal down in 10th though, also has penalties. So obviously things are being mixed up at the moment, and it looks like it will come down to the feature race to see what happens. This 3-car battle going on for 5th position at the moment. We have RDJ just 1/10 in front, Ollie 2/10 back behind Morgan. We're on board with our championship leader as he looks any way to get past Rob.
It does look like Morgan did go for the weight reduction package on his...
Oh, and someone runs out of brakes there, coming into the onto the oval. Very unfortunate. I don't know who that was. It looked to be Ollie. Just ran out of brakes there. Yeah, it was Ollie with that red car, but he has managed to crawl his way back in just behind Archel. So he will want to use that slipstream, as it looks they both two catching up to those two boys in front. Working well together, these boys are looking to catch up to our 4th placed man, who is 8 seconds in front, which is on the and a touch of doors there. Very unfortunate. These boys managed to keep it going in a straight line though. They will all rejoin back together. Oh no, unfortunately Archer resets the track. Very safe though, he does pull to one side. And they're all managing to get back on the way. Very unfortunate there for Archer. Just a touch of doors coming into the chicane. And it looks like he's had enough. Obviously he will be wanting redemption into the next race. Let's join back on board with that battle at the front between these two drivers. There we go. Champ currently leading the way. Let's have a look at the penalties again with 7 minutes to go, emo guy. There we go. Champ only has that 1 second penalty, so for G to win this race he would have to be at least 2 seconds in front of Champ. What are your thoughts for this then? With 7 minutes to go, who do you think is going to take the win, emo guy?
Well, with the pace that these two are setting at the front, it's going to be it's definitely going to be a close race between these two.
Let's jump back on the cameras. Let's see what's happening then, mate. Looks like G's took the lead now. There we go. We are about to enter the oval. Champ currently in 2nd position, half a second back. There we go, JR's comment just saying Fal and Ollie are doing 203s at the moment. Fal is currently in 7th, so Fal's looking to chase these boys down in front. Unfortunately he is 8 seconds behind anyone in front, which is Rob. Rob doesn't have a penalty either, so Fal's going to have to do a lot of work now with less than 6 minutes to go. Ollie's had a dreadful race down in 11th, but obviously that means he can qualify for our feature race. The top 5 of this race will not be able to qualify, so the boys battling at the front, Motoring Morgan and RDJ battling for 5th position. We'll have to take that into account as to whether those extra couple of points they will get or whether they'll just back off and want to qualify, get on pole for the next race. What would you do in that situation, emo guy? Would you want those extra points, or would you want to qualify and try and get away?
I'd rather just try and qualify, try and make sure that I'm more towards the middle of the field. That way I'm not, like I said, with tier 2, you do not want to be at the front, then you'll just be targeted to try and get overtake and get a slipstream, get the slipstream used against you. So I'd rather just stay in the middle, where it's comfortable, where I am not the target.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to remember as well, Motoring Morgan is currently battling for the championship, so I'm pretty sure he will be wanting to stay in 5th or even catch up to these boys in front. With less than 5 minutes to go now in this sprint race, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like what you see, please leave a like. Comment who you do think will win this race out of the only G and Champ. Make sure to stick around for our feature race, which is after this. This is the season final, and we do have the GTE final coming up later on this week. And also the Clio's at Monza Short, everyone's been waiting for that. That will be happening next week. And Season 2, if you would like to join in for Season 2, make sure to join our Discord server, which is on our Facebook page, Motive Racing, and you can sign up over there. JR's opinion on that tactic to whether to stick in 5th position or be in 6th and be able to qualify. JR's saying take the points, it is a long feature and you will be able to get past everyone. I think that's a good tactic. Obviously with slipstreaming here at this track, you will be able to get past these boys. Just a cautious start and try and avoid any accidents that do happen. JR's just said come on Ugby. Ugby, as we can see, having a little battle with AL Tal. Only a second between those pairs, so it does look like it's going to be interesting coming towards the end. Obviously those players do have penalties though as well, as it looks like they're about to go into the chicane now. A long train of cars going through the chicane. 3 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen.
Might be enough for a penalty. It's unsure.
So it does look like Champ has lost quite a bit of time to the only G. Only G has pulled out nearly 3 second gap to Champ as we look at it. So it does look like obviously Champ does have that 3 second penalty. Oh no, sorry, G has a 3 second penalty, Champ has a 1 second penalty, so working it out, G has to get away by at least 2 seconds. Yeah, there we go, we just saw it there. So at the moment, as things stand, G is our race leader.
That's the thing about G. He is a very consistent driver when it comes to when he knows what he wants. He is a very consistent, very fast driver.
Yeah, definitely. He knows how to put on a show, but also once he's away, he's away. We did see this earlier on in the weekend, the Clio's at Alton Park. In the sprint race, he did exactly the same. I think he won by over 8 seconds in that race. So he's showing how fast he can be again tonight.
When these kind of races, when it is a very competitive race, you have to know exactly how your opponents drive. Oh, I believe that G has just got a slow down penalty.
There we go, he lets Champ on by. Very unfortunate there for G. He did look like he had the race wrapped up, but obviously he won't want to drive through penalty this late on in the race. It does look like we will have 1 lap to go now. Just over a minute to go now in this race, so it does look like these boys are just starting their last lap. You're looking at our 1-2 at the moment. Champ currently in the lead, the only G in second. Smithy, our championship contender, in third. Andy, our commentator, in fourth at the moment. A brilliant race from him. He looks like he's going to be wanting to move up to third. Smithy also has penalties, and Andy, so that'll be something to look to. TJ Phil, our safest driver on the grid, looking very clean there. No penalties at the moment. There we go, let's look at that battle again at the front on their last lap here in the sprint race at Motive Racing. This is our tier 1 race. Last race of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Please comment who do you think is going to win. We are on the last lap, onto the oval for the final time. The boys nearly touched bumpers, and they're going to try and put as much power down as they can now. Who's going to slipstream who? G takes the lead now as we head towards the chicane. He takes the high line so we can't get slipstream. Champ is coming underneath now as we head onto the straight. They're side by side. Ladies and gentlemen, phenomenal racing from these pair this evening.
So for me, I believe G has the advantage in the corners, but Champ, he just has, once Champ is behind someone, he's just going to catch that slipstream and he's going to go.
And now we look, G is in the lead, coming onto the last part of the track. A couple of corners left, if you could call them corners. Champ takes the lower line. G's trying to defend it, but they both have respect for each other. It looks like they're too wide now, very close, coming into the final seconds of this race. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to be too wide across the line. A very close finish. G just, who got it? Who got it? Can we find out, ladies and gentlemen? Champ got it.
Champ
got it, ladies and gentlemen. A brilliant first race here at Motive Racing for this evening in Tier 1. There we see Andy just come across the line as well. Brilliant race from Andy. Qualified, I think, 7th, moved his way up to 3rd. Our championship leader at the moment, Motor Morgan, just comes across the line as well. In 5th position, no penalties, so a very clean race there for him. Unfortunately, got tangled up in an incident.
Oh, Akbar just overtook RJ, RDJ. Oh John Boy just got 11th place there above Malik. Grandasty coming over the line. GG Phil got just a little bit behind the pack, but it looks like he may have had an accident at some point because he's now missing his front end.
Yeah, definitely on the last lap. We did see him in the previous lap, so very unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, that when we were watching it last time, he had his front bumper. He was just damaged.
Yeah, definitely. Our last place finisher, unfortunately, this evening comes across the line, so that is our sprint race. Sprint race finished here at Motive Racing. I'll let you, Magar, read out the results.
Right, and first we have Champ in pole position, and then we have the only G in second, Andy in third, Smithy in fourth, Motor Morgan in fifth. Sixth we have Falgate, STDRS is Olimar in eighth, Akbar in ninth. Then we have RDJ in 10th, John Boy in 11th, Malik in 12th, Grandad C in 13th, and GG Phil Green in 14th. Then we have Ali, not Peanut, in 15th, then Akhill in 16th. Both of them have both retired from that race.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're just going to take a 5-10 minute break whilst we set up race 2, and so we can get a drink. Feel free to stick around on the channel, watch the last race. Thank you for watching. We shall be back for the feature race very shortly.